Bedenit cintaku luar biasa, jelas paling tulus dunia. Walau kadang gawe aku kelaran, apa wae tak tabrak yang menjadi penghalang. Tresno tekan matiku mung sampeyan, rano mung direleh ku berjuang. Kudu tapi siji ora urusan, sampai pada tujuan Tuhan mohon izinkan.
Hello, my name is Imron Sati. I'm from Fakultas Hukum Untak Surabaya.
Hello, my name is Fikri Farizal from Fakultas Hukum Untak Surabaya.
Hello, my name is Rangga Setia Permadi from Fakultas Hukum Untak Surabaya.
My name is Bagus Adi Putra. I am from Fakultas Hukum Untak Surabaya.
Hello, my name is Muhammad Farid Ardiansyah from Fakultas Hukum Untak Surabaya.
Hello everyone, and welcome to our video presentation for the International Law Final Examination. We are honored to present our group's discussion about three significant classifications with the context of international armed conflict: armies, belligerent, and live enemies. Additionally, we will examine a case study involving the Free Papua Movement, also known as OPM, and analyze whether this group fits into any of those legal categories of none at all. The purpose of this presentation is to explore how the international humanitarian law, particularly the Geneva Convention and other customary legal norms, defines the legal status of various combatants in armed conflict. These classifications are not just territorial. They determine the rights, responsibility, and protection afforded to individual and group involved in warfare. By understanding this concept, we gain insight to how law attempts to maintain order and humanity event in times of violent conflict. Now let us begin our journey by exploring its classification in detail, starting with armies.
Definition and legal framework. The concept of armies in international humanitarian law is rooted in idea of a formal state and social military force. Armies and most widely understood category of combatants. These are organized force and sovereign states such as Indonesian National Armed Forces, Tentara Nasional Indonesia or TNI, the United States Army, or the British Armed Force. According to Article 43 additional protocol in the Geneva Convention, an armed force of a party a conflict considered lawful in the under responsible command. Maintain an internal disciplinary system where a fixed distinctive thing carry openly and operated in accordance with the laws of custom of war. Armies have lawful combatant status, which grant them protection under the Geneva Convention, particularly the right in treated and prisoners of war is captured. This legal privilege and contingent upon the compliance with international law. When targeting civilians of using prohibited weapon, there is losing the protection and may face international prosecution.
Belligerents. Moving forward, let's discuss the concept of belligerents. Belligerents refers to parties engaged in armed conflict, while the term traditionally applied to states. Modern international humanitarian law recognizes that non-state actors may also be considered belligerent under specific circumstances. The Hague Regulation of 1907 and the Geneva Convention outline for criteria that a group must qualify to be recognized as lawful belligerents. Number 1, the group must be under a common structure. Number 2, they must wear a fixed sign recognizable at a distance. Number 3, they must carry arms openly. Number 4, they must respect the laws and customs of war. Group that satisfy this condition may gain certain legal protection and responsibilities. One historic example includes the Free French Force during World War II, who were intentionally a non-state actor with genuine recognition as legitimate combatants is their stroke against Nazi Germany. However, the legitimation of belligerents depends heavily on the group's conduct during conflict. If a group targets civilians, use soldiers, or engage in terrorism, it ranks being classified as an unlawful. In success, members of the group may be processed for war crimes, leaving inmates now be turned to a more unique category. Even inmates, this term originating from the French Revolution refers to a mass uprising of the civilian population in response to an imminent foreign invasion, as definition in Article of the Geneva Convention. If inmates includes inhabitants of a non-occupied territory who spontaneously take up arms to resident invaders, provide the carry arms openly and respect the law of war. This category recognizes the reality that civilians may be forced to defend their homeland without time to formally organization. Example of life in may include the civilian resistance agents, the Nazi occupations in Eastern Europe.
Let us now shift our focus to the Free Papua Movement or OPM. This organization has been active since the 1960s, advocating for the independence of the Papua region from Indonesia. The movement consists of both political and armed components, including the TKNPB, West Papua National Liberation Army, which serves as its military wing. First we ask, can OPM be classified as an army according to international law? The answer is no. OPM is not affiliated with any internationally recognized state and doesn't function as a state military under the command of a legitimate government. Although they have uniform and weapon, they lack international recognition and fail to meet the requirement laid out in Article 43 of Protocol 1. What about the classification of belligerents? Is this where the discussion becomes more nuanced? OPM does possess certain characteristics commonly associated with belligerents. They have a centralized command along the political goal and have engaged in sustained armed operation in some cases. They exert control over specific regions of Papua. Nevertheless, OPM has also committed acts that violate the laws of war, including attack on civilian population, schools, and infrastructure. Such action disqualify them from being considered lawful belligerents under international humanitarian law. Moreover, they have not achieved recognition from any state or international body as a legitimate belligerent group.
It's essential for both OPM and the Indonesian government to respect humanitarian respect during hostility. Violations can lead to serious individual accountability before international tribunals.
While OPM does engagement in armed conflict, their lack of regulation, violation in humanitarian law, and their status is a non-state actor prevent them from being treated as lawful combatant. The other best categories and non-state armed group involved in non-international armed conflict.
Thank you for joining us in the exploration of the legal classification under international humanitarian law. We hope our presentation has helped clarify the distinction between armies, belligerent and live enemies, and provide insight into the complex legal status of OPM. See you again, and best of luck on your exam.